bunch of board companies out there. I think we got a fish. Oh, we got a good fish too. Oh yeah, that's a good one. How's it going? This is Jeff Manning with Team Reeling the Blues. We're out here trying to catch some of these suspended fish right now. They're right out here in the main channel, so we're just going to do down lines. We're just going to drop them down. We're going to hover over top of them and just see if we can't get one of these pigs to bite. We're using perch for bait. I'm going to cut them up into fillets and chunks. Let's see what we can do. Let me show you what we're fishing here. I mean, that's a lot of fish. And they just scattered. This is fish reveal. Now a regular sonar. So you don't really see a whole lot. But those are fish just marking all along that bottom right there. I have people ask me all the time why I scale them. Scaling them don't do nothing really, but just it kind of helps to prevent you from getting the scale on the tip of the hook, which is going to keep you from catching anything. And scaling them also opens up all them pores on them and makes the scent trail a whole lot stronger. A little bit stronger than on what I wanted to fish in, but we'll see. Fish are down there. We just gotta get them to bite. We may just go up into one of these creeks and do a drift here in a minute. Do the traditional drag. There. Really kind of surprised, believe it or not. I'm kind of surprised we ain't had one berry yet. With the number of fish I'm marking down there anyway. Man. It's a good looking spread and there's fish all down here. We're gonna get him. He's here. We'll give this spot, we'll give it till 3 o'clock. If nothing hits by 3 o'clock, then I'm just going to assume these fish want it moving, and we'll go up and start doing a long line drift, dragging them pretty fast instead of just hovering. Sometimes it takes a reflex bite. You just never know. You got to try everything. I mean, I know I could anchor right now and catch fish. I done did this morning. But, hey, if you're going to do everything always the same, it takes a lot of fun out of it. Experiment. You never know what you'll find. I can see my bait on the depth finder. I can see those for sure. They're all sitting. One's about right on the bottom. One's about 1.5 feet off the bottom. The other's about 3 feet off the bottom. I just had a slash go right through the middle of all 3 of them. Probably not a catfish, or he would have took it. Kind of stinks when you know they're there, but you can't get them to bite it. Well, everybody strikes out every once in a while. That didn't work. So let's go to the full-fledged long line drift, trolling, dragging all the lines on bottom. Maybe that activity of the baits bouncing like this will cause them to hit. All right, let's get them up and move. I have people ask me all the time what kind of rod holders I use. Well, these are fish bite rod holders. It's the Rage version. You got your flat line and you got your upright. You can see I've got them right here. I've got them up and I've got the flats. Same rod holder. Really nice, 1/2 inch stem. He has them in longer versions of the stem. Has a bunch of different color combinations. This one's called the Rage. Can't beat them. About as good a rod holder as I've ever seen. There's a lot of rod holders out there, but it's the ones I got on my boat. And I used to make my own, so that should tell you something right there. Like I say, if you're in the market, give Alan a call. Fish Bite Rod Holder Company. You can't beat them. Alright, we're going to make a more traditional drift now. Pretty much all my rigs are already rigged up. All I got to do is just slide the floats down. Put this one out about that far. We're going to put it right here. We're going to put out a couple planer boards and such, so it'll be kind of interesting here. Alright, since we're going to be drifting using a head, we want to go through the nose of the head. And don't hook it super good. You want it where if he grabs it, it ain't no big deal if that head pops off once he grabs it. Slide this down. And this one I'm going to show you a rig that I'm making. It's just a different take on the planer board. You know, everybody knows about the planer board. Everybody uses the planer board, just about. Well, I've got one that I made a little bit different than everybody else's. I'll show it to you in just a second. First, I'm gonna put this 2.5 ounce drift weight on here. Actually, let me go to 3 ounce. Let me go to 3 ounce drift weight. There's my drift weights. I made the mold. If you didn't see the video, it'll pop up right here of how I made it. All right, let me get this one way out there. So what we're going to do, throw it out. Show you this planer board. Looks like a normal planer board, you notice. It's all the flotation on one side and this is hooked in the middle. Got 3 holes here. If I hook the swivel on this side, the board will want to tilt this way and it'll barely pull out. Now these ain't gonna pull way out, but these are just like using a bobber. Since I'm gonna put it in the middle, I'll put it right here on the middle clip. See, it's right in the center. I'll clip it on the line like a normal planer board. And I'll clip it to the line just like you do a normal planer board right here. Since I got it in the center loop, what it's going to do is it's going to track dead straight behind the boat. Cold fingers. There we go. Got it past the clip now. Alright. When you lay it in the water, lay it styrofoam down like that. Now this board will track dead true behind the boat. So we just go ahead and we just pull it just like we would a bobber. Works really good. And it's also good if you, I mean, you don't have to throw it out as far as I did. I like throwing it out long ways because I want that thing to be way behind the boat. And it'll act just like a normal planer board. When that fish hits it, he'll suck that planer board right under the water. He won't even know he's hooked for a long time. By the time he figures out he's hooked, it's too late. And that way we always know where that board is. Or that line. So I'll be able to see that board way back there in the back. These here are going to be tracking right here and right here, right beside the boat for the most part. I'll probably go and put 2 downloads right between them two. I'll put that just like that. Now I'm going to go and put a planer board on this one. A conventional planer board, that is. Again, I'm going to use about the 2-ounce sinker on it. Throw it out here beside the boat. Hook the planer board up. I'm using the Zach Royce planer boards. Somebody's shooting boys. I know it's kind of hard for you to see that board back there, but right there it is. And when you start pulling it, that thing will stand up like that and it'll scoot along the surface. See it out there? I think when I make my next one, I'll put a little spot on it for a flag. I mean, I could add a flag to that one if I wanted to, or I'll add a straight fin on the top of it that stands up to where you can see it, and maybe orange on both sides of it like that. That way other boaters can see it. Works real good. I've caught quite a few fish on it. I want that planer board to pull out like that. This right here. Put a little bit smaller weight on this one since I'm going to use it with the planer board. I got about 4 different size drift weights I use, depending on what I'm doing. Got a swirly wind, so it'll make it kind of interesting. Put this one off the side. Hook up our final planer board. See, this is what I'm using. Like I said, there's a bunch of board companies out there. Oh. I think we got a fish. Oh, we got good fish too. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Woo. This is pulling like a freight train. I thought it was hung. Ooh, that's a good one. That didn't take long. This is fighting good. May have us a genuine toad. This big fish. A lot of fish there. A lot of fish on the other side. It's a good one. Haven't seen him yet. acting like a flathead the way he's wanting to stay down. Ah, quit that. What did I call that one? Did y'all hear me call that? Y'all heard me call that flathead, right? Y'all heard that, right? Woo, that's a toad. Yeah, that's a genuine toad. It's a big one. That's a nice one. I get your blood pumping. We're going to get this one put in the holder before we lose it. Have mercy. Hello, Mr. Flathead. Now that's what I call a quick hookup. Not sure which rod this was. I think it was the first one I throwed out, maybe. I believe it was. Let me get the hook out of it. Ah, come here. Come here. Oh, there we go. Boy, he wasn't coming on. Oh, see where he's hooked. Right in the nose. Well, let's see if we can get this off. Have mercy. Oh, good old-fashioned Lake Wiley flathead. He's over 30. We'll see what he actually weighs here in just a second. That is a stone-cold monster. Say hey to everybody. Hey, everybody. All right, let's put him down. Quit playing with him. Whew. I hate it went on that. That'd have been really cool. Me showing you that and then catching a fish on it. Let's see what he weighs. I don't have anything against people doing this, but I'm gonna tell you, you get a big old flathead like this, I mean, to each his own, but I'm gonna tell you, I had a flathead about this size one time, and I grabbed that bottom jaw with a boga grip to take a picture of it. The boga slid over to the side right there where that jawbone's thin. Snapped it. I heard it when it popped. Made me feel bad. I don't want to hurt these fish. Doing too much to save these fish. Alright, this net usually weighs about 1.25 pounds, 1.5 pounds when it's wet. Let's see what we get here. Have mercy. Right at 35.10. Ah, heck, I can't hold it up there. Ah, you can't see it. Whew. 35.10, so he's about 34 pounds. You noticed what he hit, didn't you? Big old piece of cut bait. I'm lying. Little old tiny piece of cut bait. I'm lying. That's what he hit. But I'm gonna tell you, I am a big bait, big fish fisherman. All right, let's get him back in the water. There we go. Pretty fish. I'm gonna put a tag in him, then we're gonna turn him loose. All right, let's get this girl back in the water. She's a nice one. Pretty fish. She was cold. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with her. I want you to smile for the camera before you leave. There you go. Smile for everybody. Say bye. Turn me loose. You're the one holding on now. I think she'll be fine. That's what it's all about, folks. Right there. All right. Since we got so rudely interrupted last time, I was telling you what I was going to do here. Planer board. I've got that planer board I told you about, that right there. I've got it. I actually should have let it go back a little bit further. That acts like a little bobber on the water back here. And if you'll notice, it's tracking dead true because I got it hooked in that center pin hole. If I move it to the right one, what'll happen, it'll cause that corner to dip. When it dips, it'll cause it to plane out. Now, it ain't gonna plane out far. It'll plane out 10 or 15 feet left or right. But if you put two of them out, that's spreading them out 30 foot. That's plenty good enough. I'd like to get one more good fish here. I've heard tell people on Santee Cooper they like to let out 150, 200 yards of line. Hey, that's good. But if you're out there and you know you ain't going to get killed by another boat running over it, this would work great, because that way at least you could always see where your bait was. Like I say, I'm still tweaking with that and making some improvements on it, but when it's done, hopefully it'll be more visible, which I care less if it's visible for me, but it'll be more visible for people driving by so they don't run over my planer board. I think the reason why you catch bigger fish on planer boards sometimes, or all your fish come on planer boards, I think it's because that planer board lets them grab that bait, lets them hang on to it for a minute. The line doesn't snatch pretty tight right off the bat. It kind of gives them that chance to work that bait back in the back of their mouth, because the planer board's kind of giving them a little leeway. And I think they finally work that bait back in their mouth a little bit deeper, so that when it finally does get tight, it has a chance to roll and catch them in the corner of the mouth, because I use nothing but circle hooks, so you know, I need it to roll. I need it to catch them in the corner of the mouth. Now, another little key about planer boards. Again, I'm not saying this is the gospel, but it's the way I like to do it. If I'm running a planer board, when a fish hits it, I like for that fish to carry that planer board all the way back behind the boat before I reel down on it most times. Now, if you've got one that's buried the rod and he's screaming it, the line's tight. But if you get one that picks it up and you just see the planer board barely working its way across, you're better off to pick up the rod and just reel it real slow till you get that thing good and tight, and hopefully that hook will work its way and get him. If you ever grab a rod when that planer board's off to the side and you grab it and it ain't real you ain't a lot of tension, you start reeling down on it, most time he'll turn it loose. I don't think there was any doubt about that flathead. He wasn't turning it loose. I mean, that fish hit at about 3 o'clock. Hey, you can't beat that. I might have time to make one more drift out of there. We started that drift on the back side of the river channel up on top of the flat. Really didn't mark hardly any fish. Pretty sure that's just a snag. Yep. Didn't mark any fish really. Once I got out of the river channel and got up on that flat, it's amazing. The one place I didn't mark fish is where the flathead was. That just goes to show you, sometimes just because you don't see them don't mean they ain't there. That was fun. Maybe not for y'all, but that was fun for me. I've been a little bit of a dry spell catching big flatheads this year. Really haven't been enough to target them. We're only moving along about 0.3, 0.4. The wind's trying to turn on us, so that's kind of irritating. That's okay. I missed the ditch. There's a ditch on this side of the channel. So essentially I was trying to start on the other side of the river, work my way across the channel, up this side of the river, and then through an old creek bed that's here. If you don't know the creek bed's there, you can never see it. It's on the topo map. The only problem with that is it's kind of shrunk down in size, And if you don't see it, or if you ain't looking for it, you won't see it. If you're going over it with any speed at all, it looks like a little blip. It looks like a little blip on the screen. But in actuality, it's about a 20-foot wide ditch that's about 10 foot deeper than the flat on both sides of it. Perfect. I've caught a lot of good fish in it anchored. Only problem is the wind kind of done a number on me, and it moved me off to the right of it about 20 yards. But it's all right. We got a big flathead on this drift. We'll make one more drift, see if we can get another big flathead. They might all be stacked up there. So much bait in the area, so many perch, it's not even funny. But it's funny how I hovered over all them fish and couldn't get a one on the bite. Started just dragging across them. Boom. Picked up one. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the tape, but literally we picked that fish up probably in the first 3-4 minutes maybe. It's just amazing. I think sometimes those fish want to, they reflex bite. They hear that thing coming. They feel the vibration of it coming across the bottom. It goes by them. When it goes by them, they can't help but snap at it. It's a theory. Sounds good to me anyway. Alright, let's start this tape over again in case something good happens. Actually, there's 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Oh, we got plenty of time. I got it in loop mode in case you're wondering. I got the GoPro running where it does a 20-minute loop. Well, it does a 20-minute loop. When it films for 20 minutes, the GoPro starts overriding at the very beginning of it, and it'll start filming again over what you've already filmed. Now, if you catch a fish, you stop it. When you stop it, it logs that in as a video and stops. Then you just restart, and then it starts a new 20-minute loop. And that way you don't eat up your memory card, and that way you don't miss nothing. That way, I've always got the camera running. Like that flathead. Normally, I would have missed that pull down. I didn't get to see the pull down because I was looking the other way, so I'm pretty sure it's probably a pretty impressive pull down. But y'all got to see it, and that's what matters. Thinking about changing it up a little bit. So if anybody out there in YouTube land has ever done it, I'm either going to put a tower rod holder here and there that's up high for my planer boards, because you know, if you can get that line, the higher you get that line, the easier it is for that planer board to pull out. Which, you see, I'm not having much trouble with it pulling out right now. That and there, I just don't have it as far back, but that one, it's way out there. The boat's kind of turned a little bit because I didn't bother to put a drift sock out. But, I mean, it looks like that planer board's right on top of this line, but it's not. It's out a good 30-40 feet to the left. It's just the boat's kind of turned and it makes it look like that. It's just optical illusion. It's funny that I called that a flathead. I'm pretty impressed. Them old flatheads, they like to get right below the boat. They like to stay down. All you feel is that good, steady, hard pull. Didn't really make no big, long runs, which it's pretty cold out here. Water temperature is... Water temperature is 54 degrees. So I just caught that flathead in 54-degree water. We're lucky we got 2 hot water spots on this lake. We got a nuclear plant way down south, We're on Lake Wiley, South Carolina / North Carolina. Got a hot water plant way down south in Allison Creek. That's where the discharge is. And we've also got a coal fire steam plant way up north. The Allen and it's in the South Fork portion of the Catawba River. So what happens, you got the Catawba River, it goes up. When you see the thing go off to the side, hey, look at that. There goes that planer board. Ooh, that feels like another good one. Oh, that's another good fish. I'll get back to the river here in a minute. Feels like a decent fish. There he goes. Be cool if it's another blue. I mean another flathead. I don't know if he's that good a fish or I'm just tired. Got the boat turning. Feels like a decent fish. Don't feel as decent now that I got that planer board out of the water. I put it behind the pin. Probably shouldn't have done that. Rookie mistake. It don't feel bad, it still feels like a pretty good fish. Now he's not hardly fighting. Makes me wonder if it is another flathead. Because the line is tight. I don't think he's no monster. Feels like a decent fish though. There he goes. There he is. It's a blue. It's got to be cutting on them flips. There we are. Call it down. What a good fish. Come here. Maybe he'll come off here. Wouldn't be no great harm if he did. Open up. Open up. No monster. Decent fish though. Alright. Score one for the planer board. There we go. Pretty little blue. What are you guessing? Alright, let's play. What do you think? What are you guessing? Pretty blue. I'm gonna put him right behind me that way. Let's see what he weighs. Got this set of scales right here hanging. If you said 14 pounds, you would almost dead on the money. 13.9, pretty fish. Let it go. Get out of here. Come on. He acted like he didn't want to swim off. That bladder was getting him. There we go. Got one on the planer board, got one on the long line. We're gonna give us about 5 more minutes. We'll be again to bank and we'll make the trip all the way across and we'll do it one more time, see if we can get another big old flathead. That's Tommy Andre. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. Please check it out. He's a good guy. He catches a lot of hell from people because, well, he's a really, really good fisherman. He's really kind of new to it. I mean, you know, 4 or 5 years. And he likes to talk smack. And I don't think there's anybody can out smack talk him. I just don't think it's possible. Look at that. Oh, did you see that fish turn that loose? That's just wrong. That's just wrong for that fish to turn that loose. But I don't think there's many people can out smack talk him. But I'll put a link to his YouTube channel. You know, I was talking about that board that I made that just stays way out behind the boat. I know you can't see it, but it literally is 100 yards out that way, just skimming along the surface. Hopefully we'll get a fish on it. Had to have been a channel cat hitting that. Big Blue would have had no problem sucking that bait down. Probably a little channel. I might be able to just do a U-turn and go right down that ditch. The wind ain't blowing too hard. Normally I always drift with the wind. Since I'm using the trolling motor anyway, I think we're just gonna kind of get the boat turned, get it going the right direction. I might check the baits on some of these. Check the baits, and if everything looks good, we're just gonna drag it right back through and go right back through where that flathead was. When you make a turn, when you're drifting, it needs to be a long, wide turn. And even if you do make a long, wide turn, when you get done, it's probably a good idea to check your rigs. Now, you can see the other advantage to that planer board I made, surface board, whatever you want to call it. It's so far back there that all these lines are just essentially curling under that line. That line isn't affecting anything. So it makes it nice. It's out there all by its lonesome. If something hits it, hey, we'll get him. As soon as we get good and straight again, I'll put this other planer board back out. Alright, we've done with the turn. Now let's go into the wind here. Oh, I just seen something hit our planer board. I'm gonna slow down. See him walloping it? He's pulling it that way. Ain't a whole lot to him, but he's on it. Worst case scenario here. He hits it right when we get the boat turned. So let's get some speed on it. Maybe I can keep him out of them. Probably a channel cat because he hit it up in the shallows. Trying to get him to the surface. Normally I don't manhandle a fish like this, but I don't want him wiping everything out. I want him to get back to the back of the boat. There he goes. I got him around it. I mean, he ain't no dink, but I don't care. I don't want him in my rods. Alright, now we get him in here. And yes, I know everybody wants me to reel like this, but my hands hurt, so I reel however I want to. I'm a grown-ass man. I can reel any way I want to. Pretty little blue. Boom. All right. Thank goodness they were. Get this one back out. I meant to change out that sinker. Oh well. We'll get it on one of them other rigs. We'll check all the baits, put fresh bait on, making a new pass. Might as well check them. Alright, this time we're going to hit that ditch because I'm in charge. I'm going to get the wind this time. Hopefully I can anyway. Check this bait here. I mean, we ain't got to worry about that long line planer board. It's so far back, it don't matter. Up here. Alright, we're going to try one of these drifting weights. Bonetown catfishing. He makes planer boards and he makes drift weights. I like the way it looks. There's another company that makes a similar version. As y'all can tell by the way I'm talking, I'll use anything. I'll try anything. But there's another company that makes a similar drift style weight. Bloodline. I hope I got that right. Bloodline tackle. He makes one that's more of a stick weight, tube weight. Kind of stands straight up and down. Bounces along the bottom. It's a good looking weight also. Give them a look, see. Jerry Drawdy, I believe is his name. He does all kinds of interesting things with it to make it better. Well, we had a good afternoon. Hard to complain about it. The rain stopped about the time we got out here. We was able to catch a few decent fish. Got a real nice flathead right off the bat. So, all in all, pretty good day. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.